to this now. Eskom's energy availability factor has passed through the 70% margin for the first time in 4 years, while unplanned capacity losses has reached its lowest point since 2023 of 20%, with planned capacity losses continuing to trend in a positive direction. Eskom has achieved more than 4 months of no load shedding this year. And joining us to make sense of all of this is Ruse Moleshe. Perhaps to start the conversation, and thank you so much for joining us, really appreciate it. Perhaps to start the conversation here, a 70% energy availability factor means it's quite high, means the plants are performing well and that the plant and grid health is in a good condition. One has to ask the question, can Eskom sustain it with the current plant fleet at that level? Have they demonstrated to be able to do so in the past?
Good evening to you as well as the viewers. Eskom, before this, what we are seeing now, put out a communication and they set their targets 18 months ago with a new board. And they indicated that they did benchmarking studies to find out whether internationally similar plants can perform at the level that they promised. So to that extent, if the continued reliability maintenance goes on the way that it is, we should expect that they should be able to continue in this regard.
Yeah, one has to wonder, how soon could you see the economic impact of uninterrupted electricity supply in the country, given that you almost immediately see the impact of disrupted electricity supply in the country?
Yes, so the impact is not only on the economy, but to start with Eskom themselves having made significant savings when it comes to the diesel use, because the more the plants are available, the less need for diesel. That's one. Secondly, as you correctly point out, Eskom supplies industries, commerce, everybody basically, households, public service. So the impact on that, when we did not have them served, what they called unserved capacity, was really negative. So obviously, a turnaround means that now we have relatively better conditions for the economy to be able to perform, as energy is a critical input in the economy.
Does this take off pressure to implement and connect to the grid the already commissioned renewable energy projects?
I guess it does, in the sense that you are not seeing load shedding. But remember that load shedding is not supposed to be something that's normal. It's normalized in our circumstances because of the challenges that we face. So at the end of the day, we still have to have capacity over long periods of time. We still have to plan for South Africa to ensure that when we decommission the plants, that we have significant capacity that continues to meet demand.
Yeah. And just lastly, you spoke there about significant savings for Eskom. And Eskom's balance sheet has been precarious for the last couple of years. And more importantly, it received a conditional bailout from the Minister of Finance 3 years ago. And then a year thereafter, the Minister of Finance extended a lifeline to Eskom by taking some of its debt and placing it on the sovereign book, taking away some of the burden that Eskom faces there with its debt burden, which is the highest of all of our SOEs. The savings that it's made now, cumulatively with the reduced debt burden that it has, does it mean that Eskom is finally in a position now to fix its balance sheet?
Eskom is on its way to doing that. We can't say definitely today everything is perfect. However, significant improvements in performance will ultimately lead to Eskom being sustainable. But we still have some way to go in that regard.
Yeah. Ruse Moleshe, thank you so much for your time this evening. I really do appreciate it. Development finance expert over there.